Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about weaning a toddler, a 2-year-old toddler. Okay, I stopped nursing my toddler this year. It was 804 days to be exact. First and foremost, however long you choose to nurse your child, that's your decision. I knew that I needed to stop nursing my daughter for my own mental health. I was just over it. I was consistently kind of annoyed when she was nursing for too long, and I just didn't want it to nurse anymore. It was already over 2 years exclusively nursing every single day, never sleeping alone, always being the one person to put her to sleep. And although I'm grateful for that, I'm also grateful for this journey where my husband can put her to sleep, because I don't know, there's just something about just working as a team, and that is working as a team for him to learn how to put her down. Tip number one that I'm going to give you guys, first and foremost, this is something that I have not heard in any other video that I was watching to get understanding. What you need to do is get yourself emotionally ready for this. There's going to be a big emotional hurdle, especially if you've been nursing your child. I'm going to start cleaning this area up while I talk to y'all, because it just helps me stay focused. There's an emotional hurdle that you are going through, that your child is going through. Not just you, that your child is going to go through, because they have been so used to you nursing them for so long. Malia is a very strong-willed child, so anytime that I said I didn't want to nurse her, it would be a fight, and it was very emotional for me to tell her no. And then on top of that, her tantrums would like trigger me, and then I would be annoyed, and then I would lose compassion, and then I would just be going down this hole of like not being in a positive place to be what she needed me to do, so that I would just nurse her. So being in an emotional place, to being able to know that your frustration does not matter. What you need to focus on is getting your child to cope differently. Whenever they cried before, I'm sure you would nurse them, and that would help them cope. Now they need to find a new coping mechanism to get them through their emotions. So with my strong-willed child, it was hard. But I knew that if I didn't give in, if I gave in, and after I started, it would be a long road of recovery with giving in. So that's my biggest tip. I would hold on to knowing that this is just a phase. I need to be emotionally strong. I am her mother, and I am emotionally capable to control myself. She can't. I am aware of everything that I'm going through. She's not. So making sure that I kept that in mind literally the moment that I agreed that I was going to stop nursing her. Because the first couple times that I did not, again, I was just easily triggered, frustrated, not the emotional support that she needed. So I would instantly give up. So secondly, the practical side of this is, how did I stop nursing her without fully being engorged? The first thing that I cut off was nighttime feedings. It took me about a week. My child till this day, and she's been 2 months not drinking milk, she still asks. It becomes like a little joke now, and she like laughs about it, but she still asks to nurse. And I'll just laugh with her, and I'm like, do you want a baba? Like, I'll give you a baba, but no. She called my boobs leche. So I had to say, with her being strong-willed, I know if I gave in, she would want it. So in order for me not to be engorged, I was really lucky and fortunate to be able to feed her easily. So I didn't have a lot of engorgement problems, and whenever I did, that would last a couple days. And so for the most part, your engorgement will last a couple days. So I started knocking down, if you hear the rain, sorry, I'm just trying to get this done. But I started knocking down nighttime feedings. So when she would go to bed at night, I would be the last time I fed her. And I would make sure she ate well during the day so I knew she wasn't hungry. And if she chose not to, honestly, it's just a thing that you have to work through, because they're going to know. If I don't get my food during the day, I'm going to be hungry at night. And they will become aware of that, and they will work through that. But I didn't have much of that, honestly. So once I finished feeding that last feeding at night, I wouldn't feed her again till the morning. And the first night she was fighting me. It was a little bit tough, but she went to bed. I think it was like a little bit of confusion. The second night that I stopped feeding her at night was hard. Homegirl fought. She fought like I've never, like she scratched me so bad in my face. And what is on my face? Y'all had me looking like that this entire time. Oh, my bad. So the first time, so instead of me reacting to her scratching my face, I didn't. I just let it go. Like, I know she's having an emotional moment. I know that she's having a hard moment. I need to be in control. And I just would comfort her like, honey, I know this is hard. This is hard. This is hard. So it took me about 7 days to knock that off. And then she would sleep through the night. She would wake up once in a while for some comfort, just hugs and kisses, and she would go back to sleep. But we got through that. Then the next thing I knocked down was her nursing throughout the day. She would only eat in the morning, then she would nurse during nap time, and then nurse during bedtime. And all these things were done in like a week increment, and however long it takes you to build your mental strength, do that. Knock feedings down little by little, whatever you were able to hold on to be able to nourish your child in that time, like with comfort, because that's what you're going to be able to do, is just give them the comfort that they need. So that's what I did. I went from nighttime to then no more daytime feeding to then just nap time and bedtime. She wouldn't get it when she woke up. First thing in the morning, I would go make her breakfast and she would be fine. She would be fine. She would sometimes ask for it, but she would be fine. And the more you knock them down, the more aware of like, okay, some change is coming. It's okay that I don't get it. The comfort needing is a lot less than the very first time. Until you fully knock it down to no more feedings. Because my daughter was very strong-willed, I had to knock it off cold turkey. I no longer fed her for bedtimes at all. No exceptions. I wasn't gonna do nap time and then bedtime. Like, I was just done, because I knew. And the moment that I chose to stop, I knew, although I felt really bad, my heart ached so bad. The moment that I told her no, I knew that if I went back, I would be hurting myself and I would be hurting her in the long run, with the emotional capability of me being able to help her get through the things that she needed. So I knew that I needed to be just literally connected with the Holy Spirit, so that the Holy Spirit's strength would be able to like get me through these moments. Some nights I would literally just fall asleep with her because I was so exhausted of like the emotional battle. And that lasted about a week and a half. And now we're good. I gave my daughter a lamb to come to cuddle with. My daughter has never been someone to be like connected to like a lovey, no sippy cup, nothing like that. She's been really, really good about that. I think I'm her emotional comfort for a lot of things. And being a stay-at-home mom, it's like really easy to be. So, yeah, that's what I did to get my daughter to stop weaning. And then the last bit of engorgement lasted me about 2 to 3 days. And it wasn't that bad. I think I pumped maybe once a day, just to alleviate myself a little bit. And because I didn't want to over pump and then like oversupply. I think if I squeezed, I could still get milk out right now. But if I'm honest, I'm just really grateful that I'm no longer nursing. I will never nurse exclusively for my next child, I wouldn't. I just don't want to go through that emotional place of like breaking this off my next child. I think that when people bring forth the concept of nurse, so I think when people are bringing forth consistently like breast is best, breast is best, they don't tell you nothing about the emotional tie that you're gonna have to go through in order to break off nursing at the end of the day. So I will breastfeed my next child, but more than likely I would buy like the loose, exclusively like the loose mobile breast pumps so that I can pump and feed the baby versus exclusively breastfeeding, because that's a lot. Okay. And I'm sure that exclusively breastfeeding is going to come with its own challenge, but I plan on, like I said, getting the pump. One of my sisters already has it, and I'm like, girl, you got to bring that down here, give it to me, because she's already done with her kids. I was like, I want that when you're done, because it'll come in handy for my next child. So I really hope that this really encourages you guys, that you are able to get through the concept of how to stop breastfeeding your child. Literally, it's a really big emotional battle, but you are able to do it. You are strong. The child will get through this. You just need to guide them through this and be emotionally strong to get them through this. If you are struggling, seek help. Seek help by like having emotional support. There were times where I would tell my sister or like someone, like, this is hard. I think it was hard for me to stop nursing with my husband, because my husband, he was not grasping that I needed emotional support to get through this. His thought was, Malia's crying, she wants you to breastfeed her, so breastfeed her. But with my sister's emotional support, she was like, yeah, girl, you've done so good, let's get through this, she's gonna be fine, she's not hungry, you can do it. So get yourself the right person to speak to and get you through this, because that's what you need. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.